Hello, everyone. Welcome again to one of our community empowerment virtual workshops. Today, I have with me a special guest. I actually met this guest a couple of weeks ago, and we are in a influential business leader group. And, we listen to each other, talk about different things. At the end of one of our sessions, he actually did something phenomenal, what many of us would term as looking as if it were magic almost. But it isn't magic. It is simply a reflection of our body's natural healing ability. That is why today I am pleased to be able to bring with you the wonderful pain-free wizard, Stanley. Now, before we begin, I want to caution you that if you have this preconception that you are destined to be in pain for the rest of your life, then this is not the workshop for you. I'm sorry to say, you need to just get off, because here you're going to come to the realization that we can all be pain-free, and it does not have to be a matter of all kinds of complicated issues. It can be simple movements, simple release of tension and blockages that can occur in very little time. I want to present to you the pain-free wizard, Stanley.
All right, Michelle, thank you. Was there somebody else that was coming? Am I supposed to be expecting something? No.
I know, somebody with a pointy hat and pink, right?
I love it. I love it. I love it. Yes. So how are you this evening?
I am wonderful, Stanley. I am wonderful because I'm excited about how to become pain-free.
Yeah. And I'm excited to be here with you, and I appreciate this opportunity. So I'm elated, and I just want to acknowledge you for what you do in the world as well. So thank you for inviting me here.
Yes, because, Stanley, a lot of what I do is about helping people to resolve the underlying issues of pain, whether it be certain biochemical imbalances, hormonal imbalances, inflammation, things of that nature, anything that is of a chronic ailment type of situation. But the reality is that I also need to have the ability to help people in moments of crisis where the pain is so intense that we need to relieve and release the blockages that are due to physiological obstructions of different pathways. And that is the beauty of what you do and how it perfectly complements what I do. So thank you again for accepting my invitation and allowing us to hear more about the techniques that you utilize in helping people to become pain-free.
Absolutely. And you mentioned people that have chronic pain, and it is physiological, because if they think that they're hurting, they're going to hurt even more. Mm-hmm. And so if they're asking themselves the question, what do I have in the cabinet to alleviate this pain? And then they start putting a cocktail of pills together, and they can't alleviate that, then they start thinking that they're doomed to having that pain. And whether that's financial, just like you said, whether that's financial, emotional, physical, psychological, we are in control more than we acknowledge. Yeah. And there is nobody that knows us like we know ourselves. Mm. So I'm excited about what you do in the world, and the way that we align. Yeah, it's just like peanut butter and jelly coming together.
Beautiful sandwich, beautiful sandwich. So now, Stanley, tell us a little bit more about this special technique that you utilize, Igasku, and what is the history of how you came into awareness of this particular technique? What drew you to it?
Okay, so I was at a conference, a Tony Robbins conference, and Brian Bradley from Igasku, he is like the backbone of Igasku. He's the vice president of the company, and he gives these presentations, and it was a short presentation about the exercises that help you become faster, better, stronger, and the understanding that the body works as a unit. And, chasing symptoms is not the effective way. Chasing the cause is the effective way. And Western medicine chases symptoms. I mean, no matter what it is that you do, if you don't have enough flavor, what do? We add salt. So we chase a symptom instead of going, maybe it needs olive oil, maybe it needs something else. Anyway, I saw these exercises and I thought this would be a great way for my son to have more speed in his wrestling, and also maybe give me the opportunity to keep up with him. And then I got into the understanding of what the method was about. And the history of it is Pete Egoscue is a Marine. Once a Marine, always a Marine. And he was wounded and he had shrapnel injuries. And when his body healed on the outside, he still had pain. So he went in and he asked for a reason of why he had pain. And they did a battery of tests and they said, it's in your head. And that didn't sit well with Pete. And so he bought Grey's Anatomy and he read the first chapter and he said, great pictures, closed the book and said, the body works as a unit. And when he said that, when Brian Bradley said that at that conference, it was a light bulb that came on, like a bolt of lightning. And then I researched it a little bit and I became like a one and done client. I wanted to see what this was about. And then I became a client. And when I understood the principles of how the body works as a unit, then it was like a no-brainer, because how many people that are listening to this and will listen to this feel like they're hopeless, they're broken, they have no option but surgery. When they have surgery, they don't have the results that they thought. And then they're told that they got to have another surgery. Or when people say that age, their problem is because of age. And, I'm 56. I wanted to be active when I'm 100. And that's just how I want to be. So my first initial access to having this, I started taking the course. I wanted to become certified. And my first client was 86 years old.
Wow.
He had suffered a stroke, lost mobility of his right side, had numbness from his hip to his ankle for 10 years prior to the stroke. After 1 year and weekly therapy, they told him, you're 86, you had a massive stroke, this is life. Just about put him over the deep end.
Yeah.
And his initial was, if we can get rid of the numbness, that would be a miracle. Well, in 4 weeks, he was back to cutting trees, splitting wood, excavating at 86 years old. Wow. Bending over, had full range of motion, had full mobility. Now, this is a man that I considered like we were best friends. He's 30 years my senior, and he had no son. So, he'd call me son, I'd call him pops. And I wanted to give him this freedom, because you tell a man that's 86 and used to working that you're broken and this is the way life is, that's it.
That's it.
So then I started helping other people, and the freedom that it gives them and the ability that they have. It's revolutionary. It's not rocket science.
So now tell us a little bit, exactly what is Egoscue?
Egoscue is alignment through motion. So it is when you get the body straight, then you can get strength. And you can't really develop properly if your body is not straight. So when the body has pain, it says, listen, something is wrong. There's something that's not working because it's in the wrong position. And so we think that becomes our condition. But actually what it is our position determines our condition. If you don't feel good, There's a reason. You have toxins or you have herbicides or you have pesticides.
Mhm.
If you have muscle aches, bone aches, it's because you've been sitting watching Zoom for 10 hours a day. You're doing, your home from office
Uh-uh.
kind of deal. So you're bent over, you get up out of the chair, your lower back hurts, your shoulders hurt, you got a headache, your head is jutted forward, and you don't feel like cooking.
No, that's right.
And you can look for it the next day.
Mm.
And, I've had people say at 40 years old or 35 years old, this is not what I signed up for.
Hmm.
Am I stuck?
So what type of pains are you able to help people to find relief from?
Anything except a few, even birth defects, bar getting hit by a bus. Okay. So if you get hit by a bus and you come and tell me you got pain, I'm going to say we may have a few weeks here. Okay.
Okay.
But if you've got sciatica, if you've got scoliosis, if you've got ankylosis spondylitis, if you've got headaches, rotator cuff issues, hip pain, knee pain, feet pain, bunions, there's a multitude. I mean, there is very few pains that cannot be eliminated and eradicated completely with Egoscue. I mean, that's just the beauty of what Egoscue method offers people.
Okay, well, you know what? I want to see this magic. I want to see how this actually occurs. Subsequently, we're going to open it up for some brave soul or some in pain person to raise a hand and say that you would love for the opportunity to have an online session right here in the spot with our wizard Stanley. Okay, Richard, yes, go ahead. I'll have you guys take it over, Stanley.
Okay, fantastic. How you doing, Richard?
I'm doing quite well, thank you.
Good.
You want me to say what kind of pain I'm having?
Yeah, tell me what's going on and what sets it off.
Well, this will be a curveball you weren't expecting, I think, and that is, I guess I'm dealing with relationship pain because I've been trying to pursue this, like the unblinded formula and stretching and reaching and really working on mastery and having a why that really matters to me. And in the process of all that, and there's been a pattern over several years, my wife decided to leave me. She says, you've got to stop doing these kinds of businesses. They're bogus, they're scam, the kinds of things that I'm doing and using social media as tools. So I know you're not a marriage counselor, but when you talk about pain and psychology, I think it's a belief system, and some of my beliefs that these are kind of my purpose-driven activities, like an inspired mission call has actually put us apart, so that she says, I don't feel safe in this relationship. And of course, there is background of addiction recovery and intimacy issues and stuff like that. But now I'm 71 years old, and I do have plenty of pain because I spent 2 or 3 hours out in the sun today mowing the grass. But that's incidental to the activity that I did. But and so I feel quite energetic. I can do quite a few things. I ride a bike. I do have some back pain and neck and left shoulder pain. But the very first thing that came to mind is it's something about a belief pain or a neural pathway that that makes my wife feel so unsafe that she went to live with our daughter, and there's no real pathway for getting back together. So if that's really outside the scope, redirect me. And I can think of, I have had some chronic pain in my left shoulder, and arm and neck. But again, you know, I'm 71 years old and trying to be real active. So take it away.
Okay, well, let's deal with it is a little bit different, but let's deal with the first thing. Okay, so
Okay.
when was the last time you bought your wife flowers for no reason?
My wife does not like flowers.
Okay.
If I,
Okay.
uh,
When
she
was the
likes-
last time you set the fine china out for no reason?
Oh, I don't know,
Sounds
quite
to
a
me,
while.
Richard, yeah, sounds to me, Richard, that if you set the table with the fine china that you only bring out once a year for no reason, okay, you might address that spark that is still lit, okay, with her, and make her the center of your passion. Okay. She needs you to look in her eyes, and she needs to hear from your heart, not your head, of the value that she has in your life. Okay. Every one of us has dealt with a heartache. Okay. And we say we've dealt with a heartbreak, but what it is what's going on in our mind that makes our body hurt. So whatever happens up here can actually be causing what's happening in your shoulder, what's happening in your lower back, can be happening in your stomach. So if we get our body and our mind back into the right position, then our conditions will go away. So you've got some homework. You're going to set the table with the fine china, and you're going to make a special occasion. All right. And you're going to have her favorite meal after that many years. I'm sure you know what her favorite meal is, right?
Except, Stan, that she's living in a different state right now. I am living alone.
Okay, well, invite her. Send the invitation out. If you haven't tried it, you can't say that it doesn't work. And it's the same way with Igasku. So I want to deal now with this shoulder pain and
Okay.
this hip pain. Okay, so what I want you to do is I want you to lay on the floor with your feet up over a chair or your couch. Lay with your butt up against the couch, your arms out at a 45-degree angle. And I want you to lay there for 5 minutes. Okay? And I want you to note when you feel the release in your back, in your lower back. You're going to feel that drop. I want you to take note when that happens. I want you to lay there at least 5 minutes. And I think we've got a little bit of time, so I want you to do that.
Okay.
And then the second exercise after that 5 minutes is I want you to stay there. Your legs are hip width apart, okay? Up over the chair. So you're 90 degrees. Okay, so your back is on the floor, your thighs are up against the couch, and your knees are over the cushion. Okay.
Stanley, can you demonstrate for us, perhaps, so that we can have a visual understanding?
Yes.
For
Oh,
those
you
of
want
us
me
who
to?
are visual? Yeah.
Do you want me to demonstrate that?
Yes, so that
Okay.
Richard can have a visual understanding of what you're asking him to do.
I think I get the idea. It's lying on the floor with my feet on the.
So this is your couch, and you're going to lay on the floor with your butt up against the couch, and your arms are at a 45, okay? Your legs are hip width apart, and you're just gonna lay there and look at the ceiling for 5 minutes. You're gonna tell me when you feel your pelvic settle to the floor. You're gonna feel that pressure release. After you do that, then you're going to take your hands, clasp them together, straight up, and then take them over your head. Lock your elbows and bring it straight up. Hold it down. And if you don't make it to the floor, no big deal. And then bring it back up. And I want you to do 20 of those. Okay? And then I want you to stand up and tell me what you notice that's different.
Okay, so he's going to lay down on the floor for 5 minutes.
Yep.
And I'm going to look at a timer. So Richard, you go ahead and get yourself situated on the floor for 5 minutes. And while he's doing that, Stanley, we're going to ask if someone else would like to come up
Okay.
while we're giving Richard 5 minutes to
Yep.
allow his pelvis to settle down to the floor.
Okay.
Am I correct?
Arms at a 45-degree angle.
Spread
Going
out
down?
one side.
Nope. You got them going up. Take them down. Yep. And 45 degrees and palms up.
Okay.
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 And this
So
is a static back.
So as you settle into that, Richard, is there
Yeah.
anyone else that would like to speak with Stanley? You can unmute yourself and put your camera on.
Nobody does it. I'll do it.
Okay, I have someone here with me. Stanley, hold on.
Okay.
Hi, Stanley. How you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you doing?
Awesome. My name's Tony. I'm 63, I think. I'll be 63 this year in October. And I had a career where I did a lot of walking on steel decks. And my left knee now hurts. What makes it hurt is I love to walk. I can't run now because of pounding. So I
Okay.
do a lot of walking. Now, if I don't walk for a week,
Yes.
then there's like no pain. I went to the doctor, I got MRIs, got x-rays, got everything that, and it's very close to bone on bone. And they gave me some exercise to do leg lifts and things like that. I just started that. I just had that consult last week, but I'm walking in the interim and I have to take breaks. What they told me to do, well, I usually walk about 4 miles. Michelle and I walk about 4 miles. Well, I walk 4 miles, she walks 3. And they told me, well, get a cane or a walking stick or, things like go swimming. I understand that takes pressure off there, but I still want to be active
Yes.
and maintain an active life. But I have slowed down because I walk 2 days in a row and have to take a break. And, I walk about 4 miles and it hurts and it swells. Now,
Okay.
the only thing that makes the pain go away is I have to take off like 3 days. And then
Okay.
there's just a slight pain. So
Okay. Are you having pain right now?
a little bit because I haven't walked in a couple days, but yes.
Okay. Can you back the camera up because I want to see what your balance is like?
Okay.
Okay.
I don't know if I can get to it. You can't.
Okay. So is it possible that I can see?
Want to
Turn this way.
seated or standing?
Yeah. If he can go back just a little bit farther.
Standing?
Okay. Yep. Okay. Right there. Watch the waves. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
So, all right. So I see your right hip is elevated quite a bit. Oh, okay.
There was a phone on there, sorry.
Okay. Okay, that's much better. Okay. Still your right hip is elevated. So what I want you to do is I want you to bring your knee up,
The left knee?
one or the other. You bring up whichever one you want. Okay. Now bring up the other one. Go ahead and bring that down and bring up the other one. Okay. See how that knee went out?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to take your hands and I want you to put your hands back. Your feet are hip width apart. Thumbs down, hands back. Okay. Right at the side of your hip.
Okay.
Okay. And I want you to be looking straight ahead. Okay. And I want you to squeeze your elbows together. Okay. And I want you to tighten your thighs.
Got it.
Okay. And I want you to hold that for 30 seconds. Okay. And you tell me, don't engage your stomach. Okay. Just your thighs. All right.
Gotcha.
You're squeezing those shoulder blades together. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And let's hold that for 30 seconds.
How's it going over there, Richard?
I think it's releasing somewhat in the spine. It's feeling better.
Okay. Has it been 5 minutes, Stanley?
Say that again.
Has it been 5 minutes?
I don't think that it has yet.
No, 2 more minutes to go.
Yep. Okay, now how's that? Is that going, are your arms going backwards? Are you feeling difference in your legs yet?
I believe it or not, yes. I don't know how to describe it. It feels lighter.
You feel lighter, okay?
That left knee feels lighter.
Okay, now release that. Okay, and what I want you to do now is I want you to clasp your hands together, okay? Your feet are still hip width apart, right?
Yeah.
Turn that inside out. And I want you to bring that up to the ceiling. And then I want you to look up at that. And I want you to hold that for 30 seconds.
All righty, Stanley, what is the next thing that Richard needs to do?
Yep, he needs to, yep. Lock your elbows, Richard. Yep. Yep, and then take it back. Keep those elbows locked, don't let them unlock. So if you don't make it to the floor, that's no problem. But they need to stay locked. Okay? Tony?
Yes.
That's good. Now what I want you to do, bring that down, and I want you to stand right there, and I want you to take that and roll that back. And I want you to come down like this right here. Bring your hands up to your head. I only want you to go like this right here as far as you can go. Okay.
Knees locked or unlocked?
Knees are locked. Yep.
Okay, they are.
Yep. And thighs are tight and bend over as far as you can. Yep. Yep. Oh, that's plenty. Come back up and just go straight out. Yep. Yeah, I want you just like this right here.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yep. Yep. Okay. And I want you to hold that for another 20 seconds. Okay. Go ahead and release that. Now, bring your arms down, shake your arms out a little bit. Okay. Now, what do you notice that's different?
I don't know. It doesn't hurt as much.
It doesn't hurt as much. So before, okay, what was the pain level on it from 1 to 10?
It was only about a 4 when I looked at it.
Okay. And what would you say now? Take a couple steps around.
Probably about a 2 minus. A little less than 2.
Okay. Okay. Less than 2. Okay. And that was less than 2 minutes. Okay. Now, what I want you to do right now is I want you to sit in your chair. Okay. And so you're going to sit like normal. Okay. Go over and move into the camera so I can see you. Okay, so you're sitting here, your feet are at hip width apart, okay? And your feet are straight, okay? And what you're gonna do is you're gonna pivot on your pelvis right here. So we're not doing a chest,
okay.
we're just pivoting on the pelvis only. So my shoulders are stacked here, okay? And I'm just pivoting on my pelvic, okay? So I'm pushing my belly button to the floor, okay? And I'm creating that lumbar right back here. I'm gonna take my hands and I'm gonna put them behind my head, okay? And I'm gonna press my elbows out, okay? Rotate. Now I want you to look forward. I don't want you to look sideways. Yep. Okay. And press your elbows back. And you're creating that lumbar in your lower back. Okay. And I want you to sit there for 30 seconds. Okay. You just sit there. Okay. And keep that pelvic tilted. Okay. You're pressing your elbows back.
And we're going to check in on Richard Stanley.
And Richard, go ahead and stand up and take a couple steps around. Now, tell me what's going on with your hip.
I don't have any pain in my hip at all.
Okay. Is it different than what it was before before you went down, lay down?
I think it was more a feeling of pain in the spine. And I didn't feel any problem in the hip, but it's my left shoulder and like turning my neck. If I'm trying to look down at my left shoulder, that it makes a pinch or a pull that it hurts. But so that's probably relieved somewhat.
Okay. Here's what I want you to do now, Richard.
Okay.
I want you to stack one foot in front of the other. Okay. You're going to stack one foot in front of the other.
Okay.
Yep. You can move a little closer to the wall. That way you can kind of balance yourself. No, the other way. Just go sideways.
Oh.
There you go. Okay. Put one foot in front of the other. Stack it in front, not across, but yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Now, I want you to squeeze your butt cheeks together and hold it. No, include your abs, just your gluteals, just your butt muscles.
Okay.
So you're going to crack the walnut and you're going to hold it for 2 seconds and you're going to release. I want you to do 20 of those and tell me when the right side and the left side engage at the same time.
And where do we go now with Tony, Stanley?
This is called an inline gluteal squeeze. Okay, so Tony, go ahead and release. Now I want you to take a couple steps around. Tell me what's going on.
Initially, it seemed like it was tight, but I get that from sitting a lot, but yeah, the pain is less. It is. Yeah, pain is less.
Okay, so when the body is not in the proper position, the condition of the body says there is something wrong. And the only language that the body knows is what we call pain. And since the body doesn't have a vocal, it creates an awareness. And that's what pain is. It's awareness that something is not in the proper position. You see, at 65 or 66, you should be able to do what you did 20 years ago.
I hope.
And you should be able to do in 20 years what you did before. So what we've done is we have addressed a couple symptoms. Okay, Richard, how you doing?
I'm on 16.
Did they engage yet equally?
I guess I'm not completely aware if they are equal or not.
Okay.
They
So,
seem to be.
okay. When you get done with that side, I want you to put the other foot in front.
Okay.
And then I want you to tell me what the pain level is in your shoulder. And I'm going to have you stand and you're going to raise that arm, but I'll finish here with Tony. So Tony, we look at the body as a unit. So what you're experiencing and the pain that you have in your shoulder or in your hip or in your knee is actually not probably coming from your knee. It is coming from other parts of your body because that knee is compensating for dysfunction. And so it gets the weight. And so your compensating side is going to feel that pain. Okay.
Yeah,
and so your hip, go
I had
ahead.
an Achilles tear, and I was in the old fashioned where they I had a full leg cast, no walk, no weight bearing, so that could have done a little bit. Well, the Achilles was on the right side, so this left knee took a beating.
Yes.
So that
Yes.
could be, I don't know, important.
Yes. Because that's how the body compensates for if the pain originated on the right side or the left side, then the right side is picking up the weight. Well, that extra weight and the way that we walk and move that is not the way we were designed, then we suffer with pain, or we have pain that tells us we can change this. Okay, here's the other thing, and this is the most least expensive item that you can buy. Water. Okay. Water nourishes the muscles. It nourishes the central nervous system. It nourishes our eyes. The eye is a muscle. If you're sitting watching TV or you're watching the computer for more than 4 or 5 hours a day, that electricity is sucking energy out of your eyes. And so what we do is we go grab eye drops and we drop it in our eyes when our body's saying, I don't have nourishment, I don't have moisture. This free stuff is the best thing that you can do for your body.
Now, as they say, drink ounces half your body weight, is that, or drink more? I don't know.
No Gatorade. Gatorade is sugar. Sugar gives us a quick high, but it dehydrates us.
I mean the amount of water. I'm sorry.
The amount of water, drink half of your body weight in water.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And if you're out exercising,
Drink more.
then you drink more because you're sweating it. Yeah. It's easy to just grab a small cup of water and drink it and then put another one on the counter, or fill it up and get a little check mark. How many of these cups am I drinking a day? And if you take an awareness, you become aware of what you're doing to nourish your body, then you become more in control, and your movement, I promise you, is going to change. If you just do those exercises right there, you're going to get to be able to walk better.
Okay.
Yeah. And if you'd like to know more, we like I said, we treat the body as a unit. So we work a systematic menu and work from the inside out. We take care of rotation. You know, if your femur is rotated out or in, if your feet are standing, I mean, if you stand like normal, tell me what your feet look like. Just go ahead and stand up like normal. Do your feet point out?
Slightly.
Yes, slightly. You know how I know that? Because 90% of the people you look at the grocery store, when people are standing in line, they stand with their feet out like this.
Right.
Okay. So what we want to do is we want to eliminate that. And we train the body, we train the muscles, and they move the bones. Richard, how are you doing, bud?
Just fine, feeling pretty good.
Okay. Now I want you to raise that arm up and I want you to tell me where pain is. Don't bend your elbow.
Oh. There's a little bit of, not as bad, but there's just a little bit behind here when I go through a certain range of motion, like about here.
Okay. Okay. So now just take it straight out though. Take it straight out. Okay. Do you have pain?
Very minor.
Very minor. What did you say you started with on that?
Oh, I guess around a 4.
Okay.
There were times several months ago where it was nearly always about an 8 or a 9. And it just kind of subsided on its own. Well,
Yeah.
I did some neck exercise and things like that, and it
Sure.
probably helped.
Sure. So what we've done is we've shown you with just a couple exercises, and this is, we just chased a symptom, but this is not the way that I just wanted to be able to show you that you can get relief in very little time. We can do this virtually, and you are in control of your body and your function. And if you get the right questions here, then the stomach won't hurt, and she'll be sitting across from the table from you.
Yeah, it's mostly when I go back here that it puts a stretch and it's a strain.
Yep.
That's when I feel it the most.
So I want to thank everyone for joining us. And Stanley, I want to thank you for joining us. If you have registered for this workshop, tomorrow you're going to receive an email, and in that email, you'll see a link for you to be able to have a session with Stanley, and you'll be able to learn more. Thank you for joining us, and I look forward to getting your feedback on what this experience was like for you. Any
Yeah.
last words, Stanley?
Thank you all for the time that you came here. And please feel free to contact me. So you can get my email, lifecoachstan@yahoo.com, and we can go into a little bit more thorough and discuss what's going on with you individually.
So
Repeat the email one more time.
well,
Okay.
don't worry about it, Richard.
Okay.
We're going to send that information to you because Stanley's
Excellent.
providing me with all of his information along with the contact information that you can use to speak directly with him. So don't worry about having to take anything down. You're going to get that email tomorrow with all of the information. Okay?
Hakuna Matata.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for a lovely evening, and enjoy your family and drink some water.
That's right.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
Stan and Dr. G.
All
Thank you.
right. Bye, everyone.
Bye.